Hi friends, welcome to a new video, and today we're going to be doing a 24-hour readathon. So this is the TBR Tackle readathon created by the Readed Nymph, and this is a bi-monthly or 24-hour readathon, and it's just entirely about getting books off your TBR. So there's a few different prompts, and I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm going to read, but I'm going to go do my face, get ready for the day, do my makeup, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys a bit about some of the books that I'm considering reading today. So it's currently 9 a.m. so I'm going to be taking this until 9 tomorrow, but I am very much not somebody who can stay up all night and just keep reading, so I'll still be sleeping like a normal amount. So don't expect anything crazy like me staying up for 24 hours straight, but I probably will be getting up as usual at 5 a.m. tomorrow, so that will still give me some time to read. But so the prompts that there's a TBR vet, a book you've been putting off, and then continue on like in a book or a series that you're currently reading, and also one that's like a novella or a graphic novel. I don't think I'll get to that one, but I think I'll be able to complete the other prompts for sure. But let's take a look at all of the books I'm reading, which there are a lot, and I'm probably just going to be like switching in and out of these. So on Kindle Unlimited right now I have Golden by Shannon Mayer. So it's the, I guess, April and May and June Arcane Society pick, and I am subscribed to this box, but I try to read the books before they come out just to decide if I really want to get them. And this one is about a werewolf who gets cursed to turn into a golden retriever. Really not sure how I feel yet about this one, but I am going to finish it and see. There is Distance by Luna Mason. This is a mafia romance I'm reading, and I haven't really read that many mafia romances. I think this is number 2, and I'm 20% into it right now. It's kind of just giving like a dark romance vibe. It's like a young girl who just got out of a relationship and this like famous boxer who has ties to the mafia. Master and Salt and Bones by Carrie Lake. I'm only 4% into that one, so I really don't know too much about it. Then also I have, what else? Also, I'm reading The Catch by Amy Lee. So this is the 3rd book in her like influencer series. So we're following somebody, a fashion influencer who's going through a bit of a rut and goes on this trip to Nova Scotia to kind of like reinvigorate herself and reinvigorate her content. So I'm 16% into that. Then I'm also 16% into Interesting Facts About Space by Emily Austin. Funnily enough, both of them are Ottawa authors, but this feels very similar to her last book that I read, but we're following a very anxious woman who has like a very complicated family situation and just talks a lot about different space facts. There's that. And I do have a ton of other books like checked out at the library, checked out on Kindle Unlimited, and I think I'm really just going to focus on getting through as many of these as possible. So we're really going to go crazy, and we're just going to try to go like balls to the wall, just trying to finish as many books as possible. I think I will be confident and say I can finish 3, maybe more. I'm going to really try my hardest and get as many done as possible. But yeah, welcome to today's video, and let's dive in. Let's see how much we can actually get read.
I feel like I'm flying now. You make it so delicate.
Okay, so it's 1:30. I just got home from a walk with my friend, and I do have some reading updates from this morning. So I'm still reading the Mafia Romance by Luna Mason. What is the name of it? Okay, it's called Distance. So it is a woman and a boxer who is somehow involved with the mafia. I think like his foster brother is a leader within the mafia. We're not really getting that many details about like his involvement in it, but he has some kind of debt to pay, and he's involved with the mafia somehow, and something about this fight that's coming up, he's doing stuff. He also kind of seems like he's maybe an enforcer, but he's dating this woman who they met at a nightclub he owned, and they very quickly really got into this like obsessed with each other kind of relationship. Things moved very fast. It was very insta love, but it is enjoyable. so she has an ex-boyfriend who is stalking her, and there is like that threat. It seems like something's gonna happen. People are threatening her because she's with him, and he's getting all this pressure about this is somebody who could be used against him, but neither of them are willing to give up their relationship. It's fun so far. It's just like not really, I don't know, like nothing really that substantial, I guess. Like it's just like kind of a fun, silly mafia romance time. And yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. It's nothing really that like memorable in the long run, I'm sure, but I am enjoying it while I read. And then I also finished this morning Golden by Shannon Mayer, and this one was weird. It was really weird. Like I'm really not sure how I feel about this one. So a lot happened, and a lot of weird stuff, like a lot of really random weird things. But basically we are following a werewolf who for the last 10 years has been exiled from her family. She's on the run from them. They believe she's dead because the werewolf pack had these weird rules and their treatment of women was terrible. So she left the pack and her family and has been living on the run. But her younger sister finds out she's alive and calls her in because she's like, somebody, they're gonna kill me, I need your help. But when she gets there, she is trapped by the pack and brought in place of her mother to have this curse instilled upon her. So her mother had been sleeping with a warlock, and his wife, who's a witch, found out and demanded that somebody be cursed, either the witch or either like the mother or one of her daughters be cursed as payment. So she uses this daughter that she's exiled with, or like on the outs with, and she is cursed to turn into a golden retriever. From there, she gets adopted by a werewolf who ends up being her true mate, but there's a lot of things going on. She finds a way to sort of break the curse, but really it's like she has 12 hours a day as a werewolf, or just 12 hours as a human, 12 hours as a golden retriever a day. And then it just gets really, really weird. So it gets involved in like all of these things about Norse gods and this like intense curse that was on, and this curse they're trying to break. These people that this werewolf who's her mate and his maybe evil brother, or maybe the mate's evil. It just got really, really weird. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think it's a 3-star, but it was definitely like one of the strangest fantasy romances I've read because it just went so many weird and random ways that I was not expecting. Also, the world building was pretty terrible, but yeah, I'm like really, really confused about how I feel with this one because it was just so strange and brought in so many weird, different routes that like were not even twists, just very weird ways for the book to go and very weird aspects to bring into the book. So this was a strange one, but it is the Arcane Society pick for April and May, I think. So I wanted to read it before I'm renewed just to see if I wanted to actually keep this subscription this month or skip it. And I'm not sure. I love their editions, so like I have no doubt that it's going to be beautiful, but I'm still undecided if like that's going to be enough for me to actually want to keep a copy of this. So I really kind of want to see like what the artwork is going to be before. I'm hoping they reveal a bit before the subscription renews, because that could be really the deciding factor for me of like if I actually want a copy of this book. Like I have no doubt it will be stunning. This was just a weird book, and maybe I just need to continue and finish off the duology and see how I feel. Like maybe that's just really what I need to do right now and see if the second book ends in a satisfying way, if it goes somewhere interesting. It's like, yeah, no doubt this one was interesting. It was just strange. So I'm going to finish reading Distance now, and about 70% into it, so that shouldn't take too long. Then I'll check in later. It's just after 7 p.m. and I've finished 2 more books. So this is actually going fantastic today. So 3 books done, and we'll see what else I can do. But the first one I read was Distance, which is the mafia romance. And I'm just a simple girl who really likes these like overprotective men in romance. And yeah, I'm giving this one a 4-star. It just worked. It hit all the right boxes. It just, everything about it just clicked very, very well for me. So, you know, it is indeed a 4 stars. I always feel like a little embarrassed about the books that are just like ridiculous romances that I really, really enjoy. And this is one of them that just kind of like, you know, the plot wasn't really anything that spectacular. It was very insta-lovey. It was very like, yeah, just like really overprotective man, and they instantly fall together and he becomes obsessed with her. They become obsessed with each other. Very, very simple, but like, you know, I can't deny what I like, and this definitely worked for me. And yeah, maybe this is making me rethink my whole like disdain for mafia romances, because in the past I've really never been that big a fan of them, and it's something that I've never really wanted to pick up or really ever felt that desire or interest in. Like I always just kind of assumed that mafia romances were like a little bit too tropey, a little bit too dark, a little bit too ridiculous. And while that is kind of true, like there is definitely a part of me that can still appreciate that and can still like really, really just go along for the ride and enjoy it for what it is. And this is definitely like a perfect example of that, of like, it was ridiculous, but you know what? I had fun. So yeah, 4 stars for that one. And then I finished reading The Catch by Amy Lee. And this is book 3 in like her influencer series. So the first book was a fitness influencer. The second book was I think a bookstagrammer. And now this one is somebody who posts like fashion and makeup. So she's going through like a bit of I would say like a crisis almost in her content, where she's feeling very lacking in what she's posting. It's not really like giving her fulfillment, and she's really not like thriving creatively, or like really not getting like the views and stuff that she used to. So she's offered this chance to go to Nova Scotia to this like really fancy resort there and work with a brand, but the dates get mixed up, so she ends up in Nova Scotia like a week before she's supposed to be, and ends up just taking advantage of the week off and going to this like small fishing town and staying at a local Airbnb. And while there, she really like immediately steps in the wrong foot with the inn owner, who is also a fisherman, and they immediately like start not getting along. He takes her out on a tour to go see whales, and like while there's this like weird accident where he falls into the water, he gets a concussion, and to go along with him because she's really worried and doesn't want him to go to the hospital alone, she pretends to be his fiance. But when his family gets there, they all just assume that she actually is his fiance in real life. And basically he and his cousin, who co-owns the inn, convinces them to just go along with this ruse because it's like the one time the family's actually getting along. There's a bunch of family dynamics that they're thinking like they might be able to resolve if everybody's getting along together, everybody's in the same place. So they pretend to be fake fiancés for a week. And obviously, you know, they fall in love, of course. Like, it's fake dating. Of course they have to fall in love. I really enjoyed this one. Like, I thought it ended up being really, really cute. I really appreciated so this gave me a lot of vibes of very similar to It Happened One Summer, except our main character Melanie is not quite as Alexis Rose-esque as Piper in It Happened One Summer was. But she's very much like big city girl going to a small town, falling in love with the local fisherman, and like really falling in love with the charms of this small town. And all of those are tropes that I love, and just things that I really, really enjoy. So yes, I'm in fact gonna give this one also a 4 star. And yeah, just something about it was so cute. It worked so well. I really like the characters. This is finally what I was hoping for one of these Amy Lee books. Like all of her other ones, something about it missed. Like something about it started so well, the premise was great, but there was just something lacking. And I think this one is the one that finally delivered for me. It finally had something that like made me feel invested, made me like not hate the characters, made me actually feel like the relationship was real. And yeah, I highly feel like this is her best book. So I'm incredibly happy with that. I am so happy with those. So it is 7 o'clock. I'm going to take a little break and watch some YouTube, but I'm probably going to read a bit more tonight. I don't know what yet, but I do have until 9 a.m. to finish this off. So there's a good chance I won't check in tonight, but I do usually wake up at 5, so I'll have a few hours in the morning to read some more. So if not tonight, I will check back in tomorrow morning. So it is 7 a.m. I'm gonna be a bit quiet because Simon's still asleep, but I've been up since 5 reading and did manage to finish Interesting Facts About Space. I don't think I really talked about this one, but I did start reading it last night, and I got about halfway through in bed because this was like a really, really short book. It is, yeah, just about 300 pages. So I was reading this in bed last night. I'm giving this like a 4.5 stars. It was really, really good. It was really like, I would feel like a weird kind of almost stream of consciousness type of book. So we're following our main character Enid, and just really kind of like her working through her issues, her kind of being chaotic, a bit messy, her just like navigating these relationships she has, and kind of like navigating this relationship she has with her half-sisters who she's never really known. And at the same time, so every time she talks with her half-sisters, she feels super guilty and sends her mom all of these interesting facts about space because she just feels like she needs to connect with her mother. And yeah, just like her really messily dating, her really like trying to navigate life because she's like very paranoid and thinks that somebody keeps breaking into her apartment. But also she has, this is so random, but she has this like intense phobia of bald men, and it's kind of hilarious, but it's like also really impacting her life in some weird ways. And a lot of this is just kind of her dealing with like these mental health struggles she has as well, like realizing she has PTSD and trying to like navigate that. I don't know, it was just weird. It was weird, it was strange, and it was really, really great for me. Like this was just, it worked so well. Very similar to her last book, Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead, because it does deal a lot with like mental health and just kind of really weird, the weird things that people think about and the weird things that are constantly on our mind and like that we kind of navigate in life, and like just these weird like quirks, I guess we could say, that people have. But really like this one. Really good. And then I did also get partially, like I think about 30% into Right on Cue by Fallon Ballard, I think is her. This one, it's really nothing that special. We're following a screenwriter who has written a recent rom-com. They haven't been able to find like an actor that they really wanted to cast. So she ends up being cast as the actress in this movie. But she had acted when she was a teenager and had a really bad experience and hasn't acted since. And this experience that was bad was based on because of this one actor who she'd acted with when they were teenagers. And then he ends up getting cast in the movie as her love interest. So this is really an enemies to lovers, them working on set together, kind of dealing with like, I don't know, all their issues because they had a lot of them. They're not getting along now. They kind of hate each other, and them trying to work together. It is really, I don't know, really enemies to lovers, and just kind of weird, not really weird, just kind of not super interesting, to be honest. It's just them kind of working together, trying to find a way to work on set, and that kind of feels like it. Really short again, only like 300 pages, so I'm gonna finish that now. With like what, 200 pages left of it, so I'll finish that over the next like hour and a half, I guess, hopefully. And yeah, that'll be perfect to finish us off like right at the 24-hour mark. So I'm gonna keep reading for a little bit and then I will come back later. Hi, so it is just about 9 a.m. and I'm coming in here to officially finish this off and just check out and, you know, end this video. I don't know what this is, but I did finish reading Right on Cue by Fallon Ballard, and it was very fine. It was a enemies to lovers romance between two co-workers who are working on this rom-com together, and it was very much okay. It just like didn't really do anything, you know. It was like very base level, very just kind of boring. I don't know, like I don't want a rom-com to only focus kind of on them having sex and them just like, you know, like, oh, we hated each other a few days on set and now we slept together and we're fine. I don't want that. And I also want more like world building, more details about them, about anything, about seeing them actually fall in love. Like there was nothing that convinced me that they actually were into each other aside from the fact they were sleeping together. And yeah, it was just very mediocre. Wouldn't really recommend. It didn't really have that much happening. It didn't really have anything that like made me deeply care about the characters or like really get invested in their love story in any way. Yeah, it was just very much they worked together and yeah, then they got together. But that one's done, and now we're gonna wrap this up. So I finished five books. I feel like I'm always so bad of like I literally can't remember what I did yesterday. Everything just blurs together and I really like have no clue. It's like every time I try to finish off one of these videos, I'm like, oh, I don't know, it was yesterday. How am I gonna remember? But this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. We're just gonna end off here because I don't really feel like saying more. So later, hope I see you in the next one.